1987, a Japanese primary school held a graduation ceremony for their 106 students, which was reported in the local newspaper. Soon after, the principal received a letter from Disney saying, "Dear principal, you have infringed." And the school got a warning. They had painted a Mickey on the bottom of the pool in one of their activities, and Disney saw that in the newspaper, which touched a sensitive patent nerve. Even primary school is not bad. Disney shows us with practice. Its legal department is playing for real. People joke that if someone jokes on Mickey head and move, a legislator from the Disney legal department will fight them immediately. When we consider twice on whether putting the Mickey door in video, and why not see trembling hands of the production designer on Joy Mickey, I can't stop thinking how Disney legal department gives people praise. What I'm holding Mickey to check likes is Disney's infringement letter on the way to make. This is what we're going to show you. How did they make it? You may have heard a lot about their big trace, but do you know how they accurately retrieves infringement information and fights infringers? Was it by Googling Mickey every day? Suppose he monopolizes copyright barriers. Every time someone says, "You'll get $1. According to the population of China, you can easily earn $14 billion a day. The problem is how you monitor all people follow up and give evidence. You're not going to employ another 1.4 billion people, are you? Disney legal department does have a large population. Early in 2014, Brave Man Disney General Counsel disclosed that they had a team of 77 lawyers and headquarters and about 350 worldwide. Now number could be larger. However, it's not enough to have them all Google Mickey, so Disney built an piracy services, a mysterious deal. Their ad-piracy infringement retroact encompasses two areas: leaks and party recordings of Disney film and television works, and trademark and copyright disputes. These organizations are widely divided. Currently, there are three known positions: Associate Principal Counsel, Analyst, and Coordinator, which correspond to legal support, information retrieval, and evidence collection respectively. We don't know the exact number of people because Disney has a very strict confidentiality policy and its employees can be interviewed without permission. I did a lot of research and couldn't find out the structure of anti-piracy services. Only few words in the announcement provide a clue about analysis works. Duties of this position include supporting anti-piracy enforcement efforts, researching piracy technologies, websites, and apps, checking piracy data, providing regular reports on piracy trends. Analysts lurk around the web, keeping an eye on every new trademark application to make sure no infringement is missed. Even water molecules in textbooks have received a Mickey's warning. However, Disney is said to have possibly hired outsourced data companies to support its piracy searches. But no one knows who they are, and the report given on the official website leads to a non-profit ad-piracy technology for Many other companies clearly list their partners and their responsibilities in their statements about Disney. Universal Studios, for instance, lists Tencent Cloud, Talking Data, etc. in their personal information protection policy with the purpose and usage. To find out about these anti-piracy hackers, I turned to technology that enabled data tracking. Luckily, I got some clues. Disney's privacy policy lists several technologies that are used for data retrieval. A cookie is a test file stored locally on your computer that allows a website to identify you. Web can collect your surfing habits such as your IP address, time you spent on a page, links and phrases you click on, and the type of files you download and cache, which can be realized with your acknowledgements and permission. In a pixel size, beacons can easily be attached to any pop-up and cached image. It's much easier to check pictures through it. Suppose I attach a web beacon to a picture of a hydrogen molecule and you download it. The beacon will follow a picture into a computer and hold all kinds of information about you. However, there's no direct evidence whether Disney has used this technology for tracking. According to my survey, digital fingerprint and web crawler are most widely used, while web beacons are only used in small areas. And since web beacons can easily obtain serious data such as IP addresses and internet habits of users, their legality has always been questioned. Of course, it has its own advantages. It's proactive rather than reactive in rights defense, which is exactly what Disney needs. In 2021, Disney proposed to use blockchain technology to eliminate movie leaks and the source. This technology would allow film now to be played into a rich target theater, and record a number of times the film is played to determine if it's with information. However, even if I had to try and make it privately without using it for commercial purposes, Disney would have known. This is not something that can be achieved by tracking technology. In fact, Disney has a lot more personal information than we know. Here's data Disney has in its privacy policy, including identifiers, contact information, demographic information, payment card, commercial information, internet or other electronic network activity information, geolocation data, audio, electronic, visual or similar information, and inferences drawn from the above. All of these come from privacy policy that is great without checking details. It clears that information be used to detect, investigate, and prevent activities that may violate our policies or be illegal. So masses have volunteered to defend Disney's rights, and there are far more. How did Disney discover the pirating and make it privately sold in small shops for these technologies? It was the IP licensing market that relies on brand influence of Disney that supported it. In 2020, Mickey solely created about $70.6 billion in revenue for Disney, of which the economic value contributed by licensed merchandise amounted to $69.8 billion, accounting for 98.9%. This is a huge market. How to make use of it? Firstly, any store that wants to get a license from Disney has to sign an 89-page contract, which, according to partial disclosures, involves a range of information about manufacturers, facilities, suppliers, factories, carriers, and more. Due to strict confidentiality, we have no idea the details of the contract, but I've made some speculations. If I had a license from Disney, piracy was a common enemy of Disney and me. It was my mission to fight against piracy together with Disney for greater profits. As an ally, I would actively investigate piracy in the local market and report it to Disney with evidence. After all, no one was more familiar with the local market than me and could do a better job. What did I get in return from Disney? It's user information that's not available to independent manufacturers and dealers. Disney's data analysis will tell me the target audience and consumption level of this licensed item so that I can price them appropriately, as well as customer preferences, which are useful for production and sales. It's a win-win combination. Although these are my speculations, they are not founded. In 2017, Disney was sued jointly by 20 California citizens for allegedly violating citizen privacy rights by selling personal information for business purposes. Later in public statement, Disney acknowledged the allegations and added a clause to privacy policy that it can legally sell information for commercial uses to third parties they work with under certain conditions. Again, no direct evidence. Back to your question, how did the legal department make? I don't think it's achieved by having a huge team of lawyers, cutting-edge checking technology, and an extensive licensing network. Rather, it relies on micropower accumulated over years, such as various eye-catching lawsuits, to shape an environmental image which keeps students from joint making in the pool and makes all secondary creators PTSD about making. I certainly support the reasonable and legal protection of copyright interests, but I think there should be some limits. Walt Disney once said, "I hope we'll never lose sight of one thing, that it was all started by mouse." And I hope Disney will never lose sight of one thing, that is all started by love of the mouse.
扔笔，挠，使劲挠，快，加速。
Thank you for watching. Please hit the like and subscribe button if you enjoy it.